Hi, I'm Emily, and this is your 20-minute energy workout. It's never a lack of time that we have. It's simply a mismanagement of energy, and we've all been there. So take the next 20 minutes, be with me. Whether or not you actually can sit down and participate in the activities we do today does not really matter. Listening, holding the intention to absorb the information and the energy given to you through this video is enough. I believe in subtle shifts, subtle efforts stacked up on one another to create big impact. And when it comes to impact, today's session is going to focus specifically on the type of impact that your energy body needs most right now. I'm going to help walk you through a set of worksheets that I created for the Energy Elevator portal based on Energy Elevator curriculum, as well as the journal that I have available on Amazon currently and for the foreseeable future called the Inner Workbook. And it's modeled after the approach that I use with all of my one-to-one and group clients to help them to release the blocks that are standing in the way of them becoming their fullest selves and stepping into their most juicy, delicious lives. So if you're looking for a practice that's going to bring you big impact, tangible results, something that you can feel, you're in the right place. We're going to follow that up with a practice that I do in my own day-to-day life called an aura sweep. It's my own version of it. You can follow along with me. And this is really just to do a reset on the energy, as well as to settle a new intention into our field. The first step in any process should be knowing where we're at to begin with. This is point A. And a misstep that I have made many times in the past is knowing that I wanted something to be different, knowing that something's missing, that I was craving change in my life, but not taking the time to reflect on what actually needed to be moved, shifted, and changed in order for me to feel fulfilled. And this is why it can be so frustrating when we set goals or when we try to implement something into our routine, because we're doing this thing that we're assuming should be making a difference, but we really haven't looked at where the difference needs to be made and what an appropriate strategy or an aligned action would be to match up to this need. We can't throw ourselves or our lives without knowing what to feed them. And we won't know what to feed them if we don't know what they're hungry for. So this process of reflection, of analyzing where you're at and where you want to be, what the difference is, will help us get an understanding of what needs to be fed into the system, what needs to be fed into the day-to-day life to move the needle forward. So these worksheets are called Establishing a Baseline. You can pause me and go into the Energy Elevator portal and actually download the worksheets for yourself, print them out, save them as PDF and write on them that way, bring them into Canva, whatever your style is. Let me share the screen and you figure out what's going to work for you. Cool. Okay. First things first, establishing a baseline. We must know where we're at in order to make the necessary adjustments to get where we want to be. I call this establishing a baseline. In order to level up, you must know the level that you are currently on. So before anything, before we get way too specific with this, because we will, it's important, let's do a wide angle lens on your life. Even shut your eyes while you're listening to me talk. Shut your eyes and see yourself from above. See your life from above. See the last 24 hours from above. What is life like right now? What are you like right now? Get detailed, be honest, and have fun. Let me emphasize that second point. Be honest. Nobody's going to look at this work except you. I mean, you're more than welcome to share it with people. You're more than welcome to share it with me if you'd like. We can work through it together. Or not being willing to go all the way with this is only going to get you 50% results. If you're only willing to give 50%, you're only going to get 50% back. So if you're wondering why all the efforts you've made on your journey haven't really given you the return that you'd hope for, you got to look in the mirror. You're not going to get magic if you're not willing to be honest. The return is only as big as the investment. The first step in this is rating your satisfaction with each category on a scale of 1 to 10. So this chart spans 2 pages. The categories that you'll be able to see on the first sheet are stress levels, physical health, emotional health, mindset, time management, relationships, and communication. You're going to rate your satisfaction with each category on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is extremely satisfied, 1 is extremely dissatisfied. And then next to the rating, you'll jot down some notes about what you like or dislike about the aspect, or what is working and what isn't working. The trap that some people fall into doing this chart in particular is rating things based on how they want them to be, or how they think that these things have been in the past. We really have to focus on the now without making excuses for why something is rated the way that it is. So when I walk clients through this worksheet, if they're telling me their ratings for something like time management and they give it a 3, there's sometimes this instinct or temptation to immediately justify to me why it's so low, and how if X, Y, and Z just changes over the next couple of weeks, it will change. We want to own this. We want to take accountability for it. There's nothing wrong. There's no shame in being dissatisfied with part of your life. All that is information. All that is knowledge for you to take and then build from, so that it can become something valuable to your daily life. So it can become something that the soul digests and solidifies as wisdom within the system. The next page has finances, work life, free time and entertainment, living space. And then the very last row there, I have other. So if there's anything that I've not covered, feel free to add it in. And then once you've rated and notated all of the categories, you are going to answer these questions based on the rating and notes, so not based on what you want or an excuse that you're making. Which area would you like to focus on first? This doesn't mean what you'd prefer to focus on first. This is what needs attention. This is what's rated ideally lowest. And what specifically would you like to change? Let's look at what you're currently feeding your energy to. So you're going to create a pie chart. And if you don't have access to the sheet right now, I've got a big blank circle there for you. You're going to use the pie chart to illustrate where your energy is currently going. And my example, well, this isn't like an accurate example for me. This is just an example I'm giving you. So you'll see I've got about a quarter of it work. And then another quarter is divided between cleaning my house and working out. And then on the bottom half, we've got another quarter that is like primarily helping grandparents with errands. And then there's a section for the boyfriend and a little section for the friends. And then another quarter is divided between school and scrolling social media. Now on this pie chart, we've got a lot of time dedicated to scrolling social media. Is there anything wrong with that? Not necessarily. Depends what that is doing for you. And so once you have sectioned off the chart, and I mean, you could have less or more than what's going on in this example. You could have way more, you could have way less. As long as it's an honest and accurate representation of where your energy is going, that's all that matters. Then looking at the quadrants and how much energy is dedicated to specific things, ask yourself whether or not that amount of energy, so that amount of investment, is worth the return. Is there a return? Is it doing something for you? There is no right or wrong here. One person, and I'm reading this from the worksheet, one person might be totally cool with this division of energy. Another might wish they were spending less time cleaning and more time with their boyfriend. How does this pie chart and your division of how you're feeding your energy out, how do these things match up? So we've looked at what is happening, what is your truth right now. Now it's time to consider what you want. As it stands today, as you hear me ask you this question, what is your dream life? What is the next level for you, or a few levels away? What is the dream? What really gets you excited? And how does that look? How does that feel? How does that sound? How does that taste? What are you doing? Where do you live? Who are you living with? What kind of person are you being? Nothing is off the table. Go all in on these questions, please. And the very last step is to take all this information, all this data that we've gathered, and then choose your focus. So you're going to highlight one of these areas to begin to focus on, just one. We are stacking up small and consistent efforts. That is truly the way. Understanding that some of these sections do overlap. So doing your best to make that distinction between what is what. So if it's communication that you're choosing to focus on versus relationships, why does it fall more under communication than it does relationships? Is it the way that you're presenting, or is it more about a pattern? And then once you've made that decision, complete these sentences. This change will require me to feed more energy into ... fill in the blank, and less energy into ... fill in the blank. I accept that this is necessary to get me where I want to be. Acceptance is an important piece here. So if you're working with the sheet, you'll see that I have a space for you to sign at the end, to seal it off with your heart, being able to co-sign what you've agreed with yourself. You kind of made an oath here to focus on this thing. Allow yourself to re-reflect once a month, once every couple months, whenever you see fit. There's never enough data and information that we can gather on ourselves and what's happening in our lives. It's part of cultivating self-awareness. It's part of having influence over your reality. So let's finish off today with an aura cleanse. The aura is the bubble of energy around the physical body, and it is the mediator between our inner and outer world. So anything that happens in our outward reality has to pass through the aura before our physical body and our energy centers can absorb it. So there's a lot of stuff that gets stuck within the aura. When things that are not helpful to us sit in the aura for too long and kind of sneak into the system, that's where we can get in trouble. That's where we can create heaviness or stagnancy within the energy body. So not only is it a nice thing to do for yourself to clear the aura of whatever does not need to linger there, it's also a very helpful, the practice we're about to do, a helpful way to kind of get the physical body to become louder than the mind. It is similar to somatic shaking, a way to kind of shake up, a way to move what's maybe been sitting still for too long. So if you work at an office job, this is a nice thing to do on your lunch break if you feel comfortable enough. I'm going to set the timer up for us now. You can like switch on this video, I guess, anytime you do this. Follow along with me and then you'll know that you've got the timing right. We're doing 2 moves. Each of these moves are done for 3 minutes each. So 3 minutes each for a total of 6 minutes. 3, 6, and 9 are the keys to the universe. We'll talk about that on a later date. I've got my incense now. And before I show you the moves, I want you to begin this practice always by setting an intention. Whether that intention is to clear out the aura of what it no longer needs to carry, or if it is to give yourself the strength to be able to commit to something that you're looking to incorporate in your day-to-day life, maybe the intention is to completely reset and start your day new from that moment on. Whatever it is, always start this practice by taking a few deep breaths, setting that intention, and holding that intention while you physically do these movements. So I'm going to bend my knees a little bit to show you fully. See, just like this. And when you feel this creeping into your shoulders, when it gets painful, you want to switch it to the core, holding the core tight. I alternate which hand goes forward first. Doesn't necessarily matter. We're just creating this sweeping motion. Once we've done that for 3 minutes, then we're going to be going like this. And you're going to stand up straight. I'm just trying to lower myself to show you properly. You're going to be punching the air, just straight punching the air. You can kind of turn while you do it as well. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to find when you're doing these things, it's going to creep up into your shoulders. It feels like an arm workout too. As soon as it creeps into the shoulders and arms, tighten the core again. Okay. So I'm going to hit the timer and get started. Make sure you have enough room around you to be moving your arms the way you'll be moving your arms. Make sure you're setting that intention first. Standing with the feet shoulder width apart usually. Sometimes I walk around while I'm doing this too. You're more than welcome to do either way. So we've started the timer. Okay. 3 minutes with the first move. I got about a minute left on this one. If you feel it in your arms, take it back to the core, engage that core. Breathe into it, holding that intention, holding the vision for the rest of your day, feeling the things that are sitting in your aura being shaken up and lifted out if need be. Understanding that we need a strong core in order to be able to attract the things we want in our lives. And this physical movement, this practice helps us to shake up what is stagnant and to make the body louder than the mind, to make the body louder than the ego, so that the ego doesn't interfere when it's not necessary. The ego is a great servant, lousy master. All right, and we're switching now. Oh, this is making me yawn, but I guess that's probably a good sign. I'm relaxing, bringing myself back to center. This part of Sobab Kriya, you actually begin to chant God. And so if it feels right, go ahead and chant that. That can be a sensitive word for some people, and I understand that. That's why I tend to use the term universe. But universe, God, spirit, source, these are interchangeable for me. They're just different words for the same thing. Taking it into the core when we need to. Kind of like the somatic shaking, you might notice the energy flowing through the entire system, whizzing through different parts of the body, and that's good. Whatever needs to leave, let it leave. Whatever needs to move around, let it move. Allow the system the freedom to create change. Open up to transformation and hold that core tight. If it feels hard, put a smile on your face. Somehow that helps. We've got about a minute left. Keep going. Feel yourself become lighter. Refreshed. Free from what you are carrying. Come back to center. Step back into your power. Feel that core become stronger. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All done. You've just cleared your aura. Do you have to do those movements in order to clear your aura? No, it's based on intention and intention alone. But let me tell you, what we just did is an effective way to not only clear your energy body, but to strengthen the core. And if we want to attract the things that we desire, a strong core is necessary. Thank you for joining us for today's 20-minute energy workout. We'll see you soon.